Welcome back to the Project Management Fundamental. In this module, we will continue with the first phase of the process group for project management, which is called the Initiate Process Group. So what is actually the Initiate Process Group? Like we mentioned in a previous video, so it's generally when a project is formally approved and assigned a project manager. So basically, when a project is initiated, it simply means there's a formal approval and there is a project manager assigned. That would be the ideal situation. Now, it includes two main processes, and that is basically developing the charter, which we will talk about later, but it's a document that officially enables or empowers the project manager to start the project execution or planning, and also identifies the project stakeholders. So basically, when you look at an initiation phase, what you basically want to get out of that phase is a document called the charter that has a lot of information, but also mainly defines the project manager and who the stakeholders are and a few things that are there. So what really makes up a project initiation activities? So these are the activities that would make up the phase. For example, uncovering what are the initial requirements and risk, to be able to create measurable objectives, develop the charter itself, identify stakeholders, and develop management strategy. And once you're able to go through these activities, they end up in the charter, and you know a bit of your scope in terms of also your stakeholders and who they are. And this is what you do with the Initiate Process Group. So basically the project charter itself, when you look to what kind of inputs, tools, and techniques or output you expect from those two processes within the Initiate group, then you see that the project chapter, it's developed by continuously updating and doing some iterations, and document what needs to happen, what is the value of this project, and who are the team members. And once the document is authorized and approved, then the mentioned project manager will get the business case approval from the stakeholders or the sponsor or combination of this. And he's now authorized to start executing or planning the project, which means he starts organizing resources and all kinds of activities. And mainly developing a project chapter requires some input like the business document, defining the business case, what are the benefits for the project, what are the agreements in place, what kind of factors environmentally within the company affects organizational process and culture, and the assets in terms of methodologies, tools that are existing that can be used. And with those input, some tools and techniques that the project manager can use to get the charter would be using expert judgment of people who might be more aware of the project based on previous experience, data gathering by brainstorming, using focus groups, or doing interviews with the sponsor or the client to be, and also looking at some interpersonal skills and conflict management, facilitating some meetings in order to come up with an agreed or approved project charter, some assumptions, and who the stakeholders are. And basically, with initiation, these are really important: business case, feasibility study, the project charter development, which takes into all that as a document, who are the team at that initial stage that can start looking at things. What is the project office if you have a project management office that helps in managing things together with a project manager, and review of the initiation document and process to ensure that a proper output is gathered. And basically, this is what the process group talks about. So before you start any project on your own, whether you call it a personal project, you must go through certain things that you gather some information to help you see that this is a beneficial uh, project that has a good business case, and you already know to some extent which people should be able to help you execute that. And in an organization, you actually need that to get the go ahead, the official approval as a project manager to start executing, because when things start happening, you can always refer back to that and changes can be made and re-agreed. So this is about the initiate process group or life cycle or phase. So we will continue with the next topic in the next module.